Hello everyone, and welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore Mesa, where I'm collecting some wood from these trees to help with our project for today, which is going to be finally building this building right here. I've been teasing it for like since the first episode, and I just haven't done anything over yet because I've been distracted with a drill and a mine and a quartermaster's house and some farms and all that stuff. We're actually going to build that building now, and the idea is it should be like a lumberyard production facility going right here. So that's the plan for today, is to get this space here filled out with a good building. I also probably want to burn that real quick because I've just grown so many trees there and all the leaves are bundled together and it's looking a bit ugly. It's beautiful. Don't do this in real life. But it's beautiful. But don't do it in real life. Okay, so let's just jump straight into it. We have all these resources here, which is hopefully going to form the base of the build. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to look like yet. I think I want it to look a bit darker, a bit more stony than we had over here. I think first thing I want to do is just lay out the basic structure of the building. Like so. Before I think add on a few extra bits and pieces. Possibly have it, you know, come out a bit more this way. Sink this bit here out just a little bit, like a block sign. There you go, that's a bit more of an interesting shape for a building now, rather than it being basically a square with a little space here. Probably want a access door here. So if we now transition to a lighter colour perhaps. I'd like the lip around the edge maybe. Okay, I think that works as a starting place. Let's get the doors in place. Actually, would it be able to have them like... I found it better if they're set in I feel like this section should be a different colour. Like, imagine it like was originally like this, and this bit got bolted on. This part here is like a later addition, so it can kind of have a different like visual look and style to it. And this part here could be like braced with wood, whereas the other parts maybe aren't. And this then goes taller. And this could almost have like a pitched roof maybe, rather than a flat. So this is gonna be a flat roof, and probably just if I do like this, that just feels so not nice. It needs to be one block taller really. Looks a bit tall, but it's kind of the price you pay for a decent height ceiling, to be honest. You've got to have it 4 blocks tall so that you have 3 blocks of head high if this is the roof. These guys again, I swear they're always trying to interrupt me. And it's getting night, so I need to get over there. Oh, hello there. See you. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you. Hey. Golems, I've got more battle remains for you to clear up. Thank you. Okay, back to the tower. So there should be something else up there. Maybe I want a watchtower type thing. Okay, how does that look? Nailed it. It looks, yeah, it looks. I think that's a no. That looks pretty big and clunky. Right, I might come back to that, but that's probably not going to stay as it is. Now let's focus on this section here. Let's just fill this part in. I should probably light up inside before I start covering it so I don't get mobs spawning on me constantly. That would be annoying. So let's just go doop, 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 doop. And then we can fill in the tough roof. And again, this will all have variation, and then it'll look nice eventually. Because as with all my things, and building in general in Minecraft, this isn't me being smart. This is me following how I've seen every good builder build in Minecraft. You don't want a solid block color. You want a variation. So this is the interior of like the workshop area. Imagine having a bench and stuff inset here, maybe some shelving, work areas for like stripping down and breaking down wood. Maybe could this be a spiral staircase up to a storage area? I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. So now from above we've got this little flat space here we can pole stuff up on and make it look nice. It'll only really be visible from like up here, but I'm not on top of that, I guess. Yeah, we need to figure out what we're doing with this because it just looks bad. There's no point dancing around it. this looks odd right now. It doesn't fit in with anything. So let's try to fix that, shall we? And can I like bring it to an angle then? Like keep it granite, but like bring it to an angle. So we go one, that kind of a shape. I feel like these should be, realistically, should be like angled blocks. They should all like be consistent. Or even like do that, give a slight round off at the edge. I think that could work. And then if we like had the granite, see how that looks. And of course add a tool that no one will ever see, but I feel like it should have a brace like that, so I'm gonna add that too. I survived this, right? Yep, no damage at all. Feather falling, baby. Yeah, I think that's better. Could I maybe replace the top layer of granite with... I've got some calcite. How would the calcite look? Oh, I do like that. I said that. Oh, I like that. But no, I do. I think that a little variation there works. Let's also, while we're here, try to add some bracing to this wall for additional detail. And I think I want to make that out of the oak wood, like that, instead of the oak log. I think that'll probably look nicer. How does that look? Or is that a bit too much? That's probably a bit too much. Maybe you can make it just one large brace like this. How's that look? Yeah, I think that looks better. Rather than the two, having the one large one, although maybe fill in the corners. Yeah, something like that. And again, variation required. But I think that's the basic structure shape of this building kind of done, to be honest. So the idea here is you also want to have an area outside that's kind of like fenced off. And just like that, we then have a kind of walled off area where we will be able to place goods and all that stuff in a bit. I reckon the next thing we probably want to do, just to get a better feel for this, is texture the whole thing. Okay, now we have the basic structure in for the building, and I think it looks pretty nice. I'm happy with the texturing. I feel like at this point we just want to add a bunch of details as well as the interior stuff, like chains hanging down, different electrical components, all of that fun stuff. I'm gonna actually start with one that no one will ever see, but I think will look cool, which is up on the roof here, and then you do the whole air conditioning units. I'm getting the slightly offset just because I can. Well, this makes it feel a bit more industrial up here. I can add some other things up in a bit, but I just wanted to add that one while I remembered. Floor is probably what I actually want to do. Before details, I got distracted. I need a floor. Like that. Imagine this was going to be multiple layers of storage. I'm taking the ceiling. Let's get started on this room. The interior of like the main work area. One thing I know I'm going to want here is some benches that make use of stone cutters as kind of like cutting the wood, and then we want to place logs on top of this, and they'll be going along like this, and that'll be stripped. Kind of show where you've had it go over and now it's a stripped log instead of a regular one. Get some shelves in here. So you got your little saw bench here. Here, I'm thinking have like little shelving units. Let's instead have this running like across the wall here. So the idea here is this is where we're converting logs into planks. So you've stripped your logs here, and then here you're converting your logs into your planks. Perfect. This is starting to feel a little filled out a bit now. We can add some more storage in like here, for instance. One of the details that needs to be done here is like sawdust and all that stuff. Yeah, I think this room is pretty much done at this point. I'm trying to think, is there anything... It feels slightly empty still. I'm not going to add leaves. That's often my solution to that, but I'm not going to add leaves. Chains and levers. I think that car does this room. It feels like somewhere that's a woodworking yard, which means now we need to deal with out here as well as up here. And this is basically just gonna be storage. And then I want to add some more details in here as well, and on the roof. There you go, that kind of gives the vibe for all 3 levels of this, that it's just complete anarchy, no storage system at all. We can add some signs on as well to add a bit more detail and variation to this part. Like we can add some signs in here and there. I think the big thing we are missing here, besides maybe a few more details, I'm not sure, is right here. We need to have like an outside storage area for the like lumber. So let's sort that out. Let's go and start adding in some little like racks. So you got these kind of racks storing your wood. I can have another one out here, like a smaller one here maybe. Maybe a generator here. That could work. Yeah, it looks like we've now just got some storage in there. There's a bit more behind the bars. I feel like I want something here, but I'm not sure entirely what yet. Windows might be a good shout, to be honest. Add some windows in here so it's not just as dark. That probably is a good idea. So let's go into here and start dig up the entire floor, basically. Now we just start spamming granite. Bit of polish, bit of gravel. There you go. Now the floor is a bit more consistent with a kind of shedded down, probably walk path like we have here. How does it look from out here? Yeah, we might want to just slightly taper it out a bit so it's less of a harsh line maybe. Just so it kind of stretches out a bit more, feels a bit more included. That's much better. It's not as harsh a line now. So it kind of feels more in situ than it was before. I think this has come together pretty well. Let's stand back and take a look at this building. Now this is one of the key views is where we're leaving, and I think that works, although it does still feel, I don't know, slightly out of place, slightly, but I think it works. I do think it's not just like a one-story, one-dimensional thing. You get a bit of the redstone torches for powering. Another view will be from like here where this town's going to be, and I think it works in that scenario. You can kind of see it poking over the hill there, and that looks good. Or like down here, it kind of fits in. It blends in slightly color-wise with the background, but that's fine. So I think that is the lumber works yard house thing, whatever it's called. I can never think of what these things are called. That's the quartermaster's house. That's the drill. That was nice and easy. Those are the farms. That's easy. What's this called? The lumber yard? Lumber yard? It's kind of a woodworking shop as well, though. So I don't know, woodworking shop, lumberyard. I don't know what it's exactly called. I'll probably use those interchangeably. But now we have completed that project right there, where we are chopping down trees to turn them into wood products. I think it's time for a different kind of tree project, as in this area feels like it's missing something, you know? I'm gonna add more houses along this ridge line here, like a saloon and just some houses to kind of complete this little of frontier town village we've got going on here. However, it feels like right here is probably going to remain fairly empty, and it feels like we could use something. And I've always just relied on vanilla trees if I want trees, although I don't think those are going to look pretty good in this situation. I want like little to no leaves and a lot of branches. Basically, what I'm saying is I want to try my first ever custom trees, and they're probably going to look horrible. And I'm probably going to regret it, but I want to give it a try. So that's what we're going to work on next. I reckon we should work on this in a quick little time lapse. So let's go and do it. Hit it! And here we have the finished tree, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. It looks like a custom Minecraft tree. It does not look half bad, not at all. I really like, I'll try to add some shading in with like the trapdoors as they're a bit darker. So I tried to just like darken the bottom of it to contrast There was a point when I was debating not adding leaves, like just having it fully dead. But this just, the leaves make it look so much better. Plus they give us these little leaf particles floating down to the ground. And we got our dead leaves here, like dried up leaf litter. That's the word. It was a bit of back and forth of getting the base to look thick enough to hold up the branches, but not to just be super wide and chunky. I try to have the branches at a bit different angles so it looks different and it isn't just a flat thing. So it has a kind of a different look depending on where you stand. Obviously, this is a key viewpoint of it, and there'll be buildings here, so that's good. The view from over here is not as good because there's a metal or stone. Technically, it's tough brick. I don't know what it's meant to be, but there's a pole in a way. But it still looks good. It fits in. I could have added more. I did say trees, plural, with an S. But I don't think that's entirely necessary. If this is filled out with buildings, I don't know, maybe there could be a small tree like here, or a tree up there, or maybe some around it. I don't know. There could definitely be more trees. And after the success of the one behind me right here, I may consider it. I may make some more trees. I'm pretty happy with it. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the tree I've made here. You can see I made use of practically every oak variant in the game. Slabs, the stripped oak wood. I've got the trapdoors, adding a bit of darkness. Slabs to kind of lift it up a bit and make it a bit more of a gradient like incline. This trapdoor here has a very special function. We can climb the tree, and then we can go up here, sneak through the leaves, and we have the slabs of the branches coming off of the logs, going into a combination of fence gates and fence posts, kind of building out the larger branches. You can see it's a lie. There's no leaves in the center at all. But I think with that, the build out, adding more branches upwards, we kind of ruin this kind of more flat, almost like savannah tree style we've got going on here. If you look at it, it's like a savannah tree. It just goes like that, like that. It's kind of like a slightly angled flat tree. I try to follow a few rules when building this tree that I have heard about building trees in Minecraft and stuff. The first one is when you do a branch, when you split off branches, you want to be halving the size. So when I went from the logs, I then went to slabs, and then I went to the fence gates and fence posts, was there halved again. And the other rule I tried to keep was don't just fill the entire space with leaves. You want air gaps, otherwise the leaves don't look as good. And I said that definitely is true. The fence posts and fence gates definitely help with that because they are not full blocks. So that is this tree done. And with that, that is probably the episode done. We got a good amount of stuff done today. We built a tree and we built a lumber yard, and we that was it. Unless you count burning the trees over there. That was nice. Do you remember burning trees again? Let's look at burning trees one more time. It's beautiful. So that is it for this episode. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought. And I will see you next episode, where we are going to be building out this town with a bunch of buildings. So I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye, everyone.